There we go. Hello, everyone.
Welcome, you guys. Welcome to Confident Coaching Secrets Revealed. We are revealing some things today.
Yes.
And you just might be revealing some things today.
We're looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah. So you are in the right place if you are an aspiring coach, a healer, a soul-centered entrepreneur, or dreaming of becoming, making a meaningful difference in the world. And you just have a bit of a block, whether it's in self-doubt or lack of confidence or fear or some frustrating pattern that you haven't been able to shake. We are going to be diving into an experiential training today. So first, if you could just let us know that you can hear us, the mic is working, that would be great. Oh,
You're on the wrong page.
I'm on the wrong page.
Huh.
Let us know that you can hear us. Yay. Okay, Bronwyn is here from South Africa. Hello. Amy Kuchin. Sharon is here. Mandy's here. All right, you guys, and you can hear us. Awesome. Okay, so
great.
Here is the deal. Get ready, grab a pen, grab a notebook. We're going to be doing something we've never done before, which is actually going to go into a little bit of the diamond process so that you have an experience of clearing away a block inside that may be holding you back. All right. And you'll be able to repeat what we're sharing today in the future. So we're not going to be going into the success blocks that have to do with we're going to be going into the inner mindset blocks because this is so pivotal and so important. It's the one thing that basically separates two people, a coach who succeeds and a coach who gives up and does not continue on, or a healer who thrives and a healer who gets burnt out, or a soul-centered entrepreneur who has all these dreams and never reaches them, or somebody who's just an example of what's possible. So let's take a deep, deep breath. Exhaling it out, and I'll tell you why we are sharing this with you, and definitely light a candle, put some flowers on your desk. But basically, I was reflecting on a few years into my coaching practice, I wanted to give up. I really hit lack beliefs because my financial situation had dipped very low, and I was in this cycle of up and down, up and down. And I called one of my most trusted resources, who's a powerful coach as well, and I just was confessing to her that I really didn't feel valuable. I didn't feel like I should be continuing on with this work, and I was just in a low place. Like, I was in major self-doubt. And she said, okay, so you're thinking of quitting your business? And I said, yeah, I am. And she said, give me one example of somebody's life who you have actually shifted and helped, made a difference for. And in that place of lack belief, I literally couldn't think of anyone. I had worked with dozens of people, and I was like, I haven't really made a difference. Like, I was in such a low place that my mind couldn't even access a positive thought or an empowered thought. So I said, I've never made a meaningful difference. Like, really, I think it's all a mistake that I'm doing this work. Fortunately, she's a skilled coach. Shirley is her name. She's one of my soul sisters. And she said, Veronica, think, who is the most recent person you have worked with? And I thought about that person. I had been working with her for years. And she said, okay, where was she when she first started with you? And I was like, well, actually, she was severely depressed. She was questioning her life. She hated her job of 12 years, hated her city, wanted to move, was not in a relationship, dreamt of having a relationship. And she said, okay, where is she now? And I just started laughing because the results were so drastic. She was thriving. She was running her own business, still is, in a thriving relationship, in a new location, just had massive shifts. So the reason I share this with you is because not every one of you has a Shirley. And today, what we want to stand for is this masterclass is your Shirley. So if you're doubting yourself, like, I just think about if I would have fallen into that pit of despair and doubt, how many through the last, the 8 years that followed that, how many clients I would have robbed, supporting because I gave up. Because I had all my crap in my head taking over rather than the power of my heart leading me. So today we're going to shift. If you need a subtle upgrade or you just need like a Shirley to like kick and scream.
Yeah. And just even, you can just raise your hand inside yourself if you've ever been in that place of that much doubt.
Actually write yes in the chat.
Yeah,
if
it
you've
would be
been
good
there.
to hear if you've been there.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do, I'm going to give you the layout of what we're going to drop into. So the three main pieces we're going to hone in on is the 5 coaching success blocks. Yes. And how to masterfully break through them. Not just break through them, but masterfully break through them. Then we're going to go into how to use the diamond process to alchemize the chronic emotional trigger that is really keeping you from that unshakable certainty.
Because remember, these blocks are sneaky, right? They can be deep and hidden. So for this, you're going to want a pen and paper. We're going to go deep with it.
And then the third one is we're going to go into the one quality every successful entrepreneur needs to embody. And actually, the ones out there, the top CEOs are already embodying this.
Yes. And by the way, I'm seeing all your yeses right now. So yes. Oh, and Stacy, okay, it's so beautiful to see all of you here. We're going to look at comments. Type in your questions as they come up. And at the end, we're going to really go through questions. And for those of you who are here live, we have a gift for you at the end. So we are excited about that. Okay, so we are going to dive straight in so we have time for the deep process. The number one thing we want to say is, think about this. There are imagine two people with the exact same skills, same coaching skills, same qualifications. One is going to thrive as a coach or a healer or a soul-based entrepreneur, and the other is going to fail. Why? I'm curious. Do you know why?
What's your guess? What is your educated guess in your own experience?
Same skills, same qualifications. They've got all the same brilliance, but one's going to fail and one is going to make it. Why? It's one simple thing. So one person is believing in themselves and the other person is caught in what I was caught in that day. I'm not good enough. I'll never be good enough. Who am I? What am I even thinking doing this work? Like, I have no value to give. So the difference is there's the one who believes in themselves and goes for it and makes a choice, and the one who doesn't. So mindset is everything, and that's the core today. In future masterclasses, we're going to be doing more of the strategy to help with the business side of coaching. But today we're really focused on primary focus, which is mindset. Without this, there's no way to succeed even with the best strategy.
This is your center. So if you don't have a center of wheel, do you have a wheel? You need to be able to roll, and in order to roll, you have to have your center strong, and that's where all the spokes go into. So this is what we're working on today, is the center.
Yes, and we're starting with the 5 coaching success blocks. So these really are the internal blocks. So what we're going to suggest for you is, as we go through these 5, let us know in the comments which one is you, and then the guidance we give to overcome those success blocks. You're going to have some opportunities this week to take action and bust through them, okay? So the first coaching success block is,
I love this one.
Little Miss Perfect Bottleneck, okay?
And Veronica is presenting this one for a reason.
I know this one inside and out, and you perfectionists know what I'm talking about. So basically, this is the belief that you should be able to run before you crawl. You should be able to you're comparing yourselves to people who have been doing this work for 10, 20, 30 years, and you've just started. If I can't do it perfectly, I shouldn't do it at all. And really, this is something that we call it a bottleneck, because if you are a perfectionist, and I've talked to many people who go through this, like, if you can't send out a newsletter without it having a grammatical error, you're going to be a bottleneck in your business. What I mean by that is speed is more important than being perfect. Generosity is more important than looking good. Giving high value is way more important than the way that your image, right? So this is so big. And when we get to the root of this, so does anyone have this one where you really want everything to be perfect? So we're going to give you how to overcome this, but really think about it. When we're trying to be perfect, we are slowing down and we're making it all about us. When I'm in this Little Miss Perfect phase, I'm making it all about me. Why do I want to be perfect? Because I want you to accept me and I want you to approve of me. That's the only reason. Why else is the perfectionist there? And so as soon as we drop the perfectionist and let go, I mean, I get comments all the time. You said this wrong. You wrote a grammatical error here. You did that. And those things used to be, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I get it all the time. I'm blessed with not having to be perfect anymore. There was a point where I thought I needed to be perfect, even though I was far from being perfect. Now I know I'm not perfect and I'm not trying to be perfect. It's a great little mix.
None of us are immune to this, clearly. So basically, the way to break through this, and this is so freaking exciting, okay? And I find this so exciting. My business coach, her goal is to fail 19 times in 2019. And you're probably going, what? The solution is to fail? Yeah, the solution is to become in love with failure, to do things that are so outrageous, to go so far in your generosity zone that it actually, you risk things, and you have these moonshot goals, and maybe you make it to the star in front of it instead. That's a failure, right? Because you didn't meet your goal, but at least you're moving into what's bigger than what you're comfortable doing. I can be perfect in what I already know easily. But in order to do what we're doing with our coach training program this year, for example, and supporting so many more people and doing the work that we're doing, I can't be perfect with my grammar. I don't have the time to do that, right? And how meaningless is the grammar? It's like the point is getting across. So it's really weighing out, how do you deliver what you're here to deliver without getting lost in a certain image?
And guess what? We have a little guest coming in.
Yes.
So nothing is perfect here.
Yes. Come on in, Stella.
Oh, I guess not.
So if you have this, let us know. And so our suggestion for you, and when I say our coach is literally failing 19 times this year. She's going so she's brilliant and extremely successful, and she's trying some wild things this year. So what is one thing that feels out of your comfort zone, if you do suffer with this, that you've been spending so much time tweaking your website and like overthinking and trying to make everything perfect or whatever it is? Where can you let go and move into something that's actually going to produce income for you now, or actually going to produce results? Or maybe you've been looking at all the different coach training programs and obsessing about which one and what to do. Choose one. Or maybe, it's like, so we'll go into this a little bit more later, but that is the first one.
It makes me think of when we were speaking about being willing to risk and fall. When I first started as a kid snow skiing, I was in my first lesson, and my coach was saying, Jason, it's not about staying up. It's actually about falling, because every time you fall, you're going to get better and you're going to get better. So the failing is not failing in life or you're a failure. It's actually falling down and getting back up. It's the one who stays down who is staying in the story of victim or failure. We're falling down to get back up. So we build our chops so we're stronger and we have more ability to face and adapt to the next challenge that's assuredly going to come.
Yeah, so falling forward. And I see some 100% me, Amy saying, was me, gave up on it. Yes, I'm a little Miss Perfect fellas here. Admitted I try to make it just right. Oh, Stacy. Yeah, so we got Alexandra, big time. Yeah. Sacred Raven TV. So good. So this is our challenge to you perfectionists. What is something you can do messily, sloppily, but do it anyway?
All right. Here we go.
And by the way, the remedy is also excellence. Like, you can be excellent without having to be perfect. I choose excellence in everything I do. And perfectionist, it's going to be a bottleneck.
Did you give them the how to overcome this?
Yeah, choose one thing. What is one thing that you have been obsessing over, trying to make perfect, that you can stop and just send it out? Just do it. That newsletter you want to send out, just send it out, right? It's not about the result. It's about you moving forward and making decisions fast, which is something we'll talk about. Okay.
All right. So number two. The later is better lie. And there's no mistake that I'm offering this one, because I'm a little turtle. Often I go really slow with things. But what the challenge is with moving slow in decision making, or it's not just moving slowly, it's actually putting it off. It's this procrastination piece. So the reality is, if we keep putting it off, we're avoiding something. And we're actually, when we're putting it off, I'll tell you a story. Whenever I would go to shoot a photo and I'd be someplace where it's kind of inconvenient and I say, oh, I'll go back and get that when we come back. Or we're driving down the road and I said, when we come back, I want to get that shot. How many times in a decade of shooting photos did I ever get that shot? Zero.
Yeah.
Zero, literally, because we're putting something out that's calling you now, and there's it requires momentum. And procrastination, what procrastination is a stopgate. It's a dam to your momentum. It stops the flow of the river.
Yeah. Many of you, so I was working with a client yesterday and she was basically saying she's trying to get a cash injection in her business right now to boost some sales. And so I was sharing with her an idea, and it's going to require going outside of the comfort zone, of course. And she said, oh God, you know what? Like, I'm all about tweaking my social media and putting off, like she kept putting off my coaching to her later, I'll do it later. Right. So that procrastination can be because we actually also have the perfectionist where I don't want to fail. I don't want to get the no when I enroll, offer my services to someone. So really look at what is it that's keeping you in this future lie that later it's going to be better. And later I'll have money, time, better body, whatever it is. Do you realize that never actually happens? Like, have you looked back?
I wait until I have this in order for me to take the next step. It's actually, we've got to reverse it. We've got to take the step in order for that to actually come to possibility and fruition.
Yeah. So the remedy is, where are you procrastinating? Where are you falling into this?
So we want to shine light on this. This is the perfect place to shine light. Where are you most procrastinating? Where's one place in your life you're most procrastinating?
And write that down. Write it in the comments, or at least in your notebook, so that you have it. And I love what you said. There's some kind of avoidance pattern. So what are you avoiding by not doing that thing, right?
So you want to list it, and then you want to give the reason why.
Number 3. Everyone else but me. And Jason wrote BUTT on the back here.
Because that's such a but answer. I'm looking at everybody else. Everybody else can do it, but I'm the but.
So this is what we hear the most. Who am I to do this? It's what I was saying to Shirley that day. Who am I to do this? Am I crazy? What am I doing? So this is really about having a lack of self-worth, a lack of self-value. This is the biggest trick that the mind and ego plays to keep us in a safe zone. And really, like, one example of this is the mom martyr, right? There are a lot of moms out there. And if you are a single mom or a mom and wanting to start your own business, or a father, we really acknowledge you. And one thing that we come up against so often are moms who have this burning desire to do the thing inside that they want to do, create, make a meaningful difference, have their own business, be a coach, be a healer, whatever it may be. And they have this idea, well, I'm just taking care of the kids and I don't contribute financially. So who am I to invest in a coach training program? Or who am I to go take that painting class? Or who am I? And what they're not seeing, because of the value issue, this is just an example. There are many examples. But the mom martyr example, it's like, well, I'm not contributing to the family financially. Meanwhile, if they were to hire a nanny to do all the work they've been doing day in and day out with their kids, that would be a 6-figure job, at least. So it's really about whether you're the mom martyr or you're just the person who's caught in self-doubt, who hasn't yet received the evidence that what you have to give is valuable for others. There's an opportunity to really look at your own worth and the lie that your mind is telling you. Because it will, if you're not, and this is a self-care conversation, if you're not filled up, it's very easy for the mind to take over and tell you that you're not good enough.
And whether you're a mom, a father, or single, having kids or not, you have friends, you have people around you. This is about, what about being an example for those who you're here to influence? So if you are a parent and you want to influence your children, you're a living example. So if whatever you're not doing for yourself, you're being an example for your kids to not do that for themselves.
It becomes a cycle. Yeah.
And what we want to be is finding the way and asking the questions of, how can I do, it's a yes and, how can I be a parent, or how can I have a full life and do the things I love and do the things I'm passionate about?
So are you somebody who is so comfortable giving, but you will not receive? Like it's really uncomfortable to have something, to invest in yourself. Like everyone else in your family or everyone else can go do it, right? Everyone else, but just not you.
So you have one hand that is receiving and one hand that's giving. If you're only going halfway around the clock, you never get fully around the circle of your life. You never fully become the hero in the hero's journey.
Yeah, actually, this is one of, and I've had to face this myself, it's one of the most selfish things in the world. Because if we're not investing in ourselves, if we're not giving to ourselves, we can't actually, we hit our reserves. Like we literally go into, I don't have anything to give, and then we can't give the beautiful work that we're here to give, or the solutions, provide the solutions for people. The reason we do this work is because we know, you, me, we, all of us, when we're filled up and our self-care is strong and we believe in ourselves, which is what we're about to get to in this process, imagine our world when we're all unlocked and unleashed, giving the thing that is made is pure love to help others with, right? It's so powerful. So
all right, here we go.
The way to really break through it is to self-invest. So this week, if you're open to it,
if this is your thing, if this is one of your pieces.
Yeah, if this is one of your pieces, we want you today to ask for 10 things today. It could be very small. Please pass me the, whatever. Could you get me a drink out of the fridge?
Yeah.
I need this. We would love for you to start using the word, I need blah, blah, this. Could you help me with that?
I would like help with this.
I would like help with this. So if you really are that person, please look at this. I'm telling you, it is so important.
And if you feel totally strangled by asking for 10 things, start with one thing, okay? And then it's 10 steps. So you take one step with this, then the second step. So how many can you get through in a day? How many things can you ask for? What are the things that you need in your life that you haven't been asking for, that is actually being that bottleneck in another way? It's stopping you from going forward in your life, in your dreams, in your joys.
And Sacred Raven TV, I just want to say, you've said, I'm tired of not receiving. This is my time. And this is your time. And you're being a voice for many others who can relate to you. And I have so deeply been there, and I still fall into this sometimes. So just know that I love what you're declaring, and I say it out loud right now. This is my time. This is my time. So really today, go exaggerate it. Do it 10 times today. Ask for things. Feel the discomfort. Breathe through it. And notice what happens when you're willing to ask.
And when you ask for things, it creates greater connection and deeper relationship. If you're the person who never asks for anything, then your friends, your family, they may not even feel that close to you because you're not willing to put yourself out there and include them in your journey.
Yes, absolutely. God,
beautiful.
we could do a whole course on this.
Yes, it's so good.
So many examples.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So next one
Number 4.
We're going to move into, have you ever read the book, The Little Engine That Couldn't? The engine.
I think I can't.
The engine that keeps going up the mountain. I can't. I don't think I can. I don't think I can. I think I'm going to stop. And then he stops. Did you read that book?
No one read that book. That wouldn't be a very interesting book.
Why in the heck haven't you read that book? I thought everybody read that book. Well, the reality is it was, I think I could, as we all know, because I think I can. Because who wants to watch or read the story about who can't? This is about, you can. This is about perseverance. The mountain, we all have a mountain to climb in our life. And there's many people who stay in the valley and stay comfortable. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you're here to actually live your joy, your passion, your purpose, your stand in life, if you're here to be service to others, you've got to climb a mountain to do that. Because it's not for everybody. If everybody climbed the mountain, we'd have such a better world. But in order to climb that mountain, you're going to be facing obstacles. And you're going to need to be able to overcome those obstacles. And in the obstacle, there's a voice that comes in and says, I don't know if you can do it. And that voice is going to be there. Are you going to have the courage and the willingness and the commitment to overcome that voice, overcome the obstacle that's in front of you? And that's what's required in turning this engine from I can't into I think I can, and then I know I can, and I know I will.
Yeah, and the only way to actualize your dream or your coaching destiny or your healing, flourishing with your healing work is to get really good at overcoming roadblocks and climbing walls. Like the wall shows up of self-doubt, get really strong in your ability to climb it. Like there's no other way, right? There's no other way around it. So if that muscle is weak, that perseverance muscle, that's great that you know that. So ask yourself, am I a perseverer? Like when the block comes, do you take it as a spiritual sign? Like, oh, it must be
fate. I'm not meant to do this.
I'm not meant to, this is a sign I
Yeah.
shouldn't do this, or too many obstacles. You know how many obstacles we face like in our business with the computer not working or this happening or that happening, but we find a way because we know that that's all a story, right? That used to shut me down so much in the past. So it's really about, are you the person who sees the block and goes, ooh, this is like a gym membership. This is letting me get strong in my perseverance muscles. Or are you going, oh, okay, it's time to quit? If we don't go past that obstacle, we stay exactly as we are and we never actualize or climb the wall, actualize the dream that we're here to live or succeed as a life coach.
So here's the question to ask yourself. Where in one part of your life, in one area of your life, is there a wall right now?
Mm.
Is there a wall to climb and you've been putting it off? Or maybe you haven't been putting it off, but you don't know how to get over it, okay? And you're seeing it as an obstacle. You're seeing it as the barbed wire fence that you can't climb over, okay? Write that down or those down. And then if you were the person who was already on the other side of that fence, on the other side of that wall, on the other side of that mountain, what would you say to yourself to shift the perspective to actually see this in a way where you can actually climb and get over?
That's a beautiful journal, like notebook prompt. Yes, so just take a breath here and write down, so you can at least really take time with this later. What does the version of you who's at the top of the mountain or the other side of the wall have to say to you? What is the advice that version of you that's already broken through the obstacle you're currently facing, what is that version of you's advice to you? Okay, number 5. So fear will keep me safe. Really, it will. Fear will keep me safe.
How many people live in that place?
So fear will keep me safe. This is true about 0.01% of the time when you're being attacked by a tiger or chased by a saber-toothed tiger or something, or there's a, something threatening, in a dark alley or something like that. That's a good time to have fear and like go drive off or take off and do whatever you need to do.
When you want the adrenals to kick in and get you to safety.
Yeah, but 99.9% of the time, there are lots of ego threats, like, oh, someone's going to judge me. Someone's not going to like me. If I'm visible, they're going to think this about me. Or what if a client says this? Or what if they don't like that? Or what if they don't like my style? That's an ego threat, but it's not an actual life threat. So this is when you really start to notice that the instinct inside of us is to literally run when we feel fear and not move forward. And so until we migrate and evolve out of that animal instinct and go, oh, we have cognitive reasoning, we have a much larger capacity, we have intuition, we have an ability to self-reflect, which is unique from any other species in the kingdom of life. So when you start to see that when fear comes up, it's totally natural for the entire body to be flooded with hormones and say, run. But it's really important to override that with an awareness that, oh, of course, my entire body is saying run for safety. What I need to do now, the solution to overcoming this success block, this confidence block as well, but really this success block, is to actually move towards what you fear and move through it.
So I have a exact story that goes perfectly with this. When I had my motorcycle accident, I don't know how many years ago it was now, about 10 years ago.
9 or 10.
So I fractured my pelvis and my hip and had a lot of internal bleeding and So once I got out of the hospital and I was beginning the healing journey, and notice I say after I got out of the hospital. Once I got out of the hospital, I started my healing journey, or whenever that began. And I was blessed to have a friend who is a yoga therapist and a physical therapist, and she was working with me to overcome some of the challenges in my breaks. And so I come in and I had found this girdle that somebody had given me that I was wrapping around my pelvis to keep everything really tight in there, so it felt really supported and it felt less vulnerable. And I go in to see my friend, and she tells me, her name's actually Sherry Browerman. She's an amazing, gifted yoga therapist and physical therapist, one of the absolute best in LA. And she says, "Okay, Jason, walk across the room." So I walk across the room, and she goes, what do you got going on there? And I go, what do you mean? She goes, you got something underneath there? And I go, yeah, I have a girdle. She goes, no. I don't know of any time, Jason, you're supposed to wear a girdle. Okay, so take the girdle off. And she goes, walk again. So I took the girdle off and I walked again. She goes, okay. So what was happening when I was wearing the girdle, it was like I felt safe, but I was holding myself back. It was all this restriction holding me back. And she says, Jason, what you've got to do, the healing is going to happen by moving into the pain, not away from it. Mm. And intuitively, we're thinking we got to move away from the pain. That's where we're going to keep ourselves safe. But it's actually moving into the pain where the healing happens. So
and we're not giving medical advice here, by the way. This is just Jason's example and story.
This is what we're
people watching, like taking off their casts, and like
this is for. But we're using the relation point, because what we're doing with the fear is we're running away from the fear. We're trying to hide away from what we're afraid to move into. Yeah. And the pain is actually, it feels so painful or scary to actually move into the fear, move into the pain. But as I moved into the pain, she was seeing that my walk was coming back normal. And if I would have kept the girdle on and kept moving away from the pain, I probably would have had a different walk, or maybe even a limp, because I was moving away from it. Yeah. So rather than limping through your life, running from everything, we get to face those fears in a way that we ask the questions that shine light on the reality that this is not life-threatening. You can make it through this. So how do you move into that discomfort? That's what we're here to do today.
So powerful. And what if your win in life isn't about getting the result even, or the accolades, but just doing it? Just moving forward. So we're going to move into a process right now. Are you facing fear in some area of your coaching business, of your vision to be a coach, of your healing practice, of your dream of having, a soul-centered or heart-centered business online or in person? Are you up against fear right now? If so, let us know. Let us know in the comments. And what we're going to do is use this example that you're going through right now so that you can repeat this practice that we share with you today to break through and actually move consciously and intentionally and safely, believe it or not. So you can be safe and secure and sound as you move through the fear. Like, you can have both, all right? So think about that thing for a moment that's really been like bringing up a lot of fear. So for some of you, it's going to be being visible, getting on video. For others, it's going to be, okay, yeah, yes, sadly, yes, oh, yes, yes. Yeah, so, yeah, let me know exactly. I would love some examples. Is this fear different from a phobia? I would say a phobia is an exaggerated, it's like a repetitive, not addressing the fear eventually creates
Keeps
a phobia.
Cycle of it, yes.
Yeah, or not working through a trauma is really, that's a deeper issue. Like, trauma is a whole other thing. But a phobia, I think, when the fear isn't addressed, eventually it's so in the dark because we're running from it or limping away from it, right? We're just so not wanting to look at it that it's like this big scary thing in the closet that we are just, it's like haunting us, right?
So we're doing everything we can to avoid it. So it becomes a patterning. So these come up in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And it's not like something's more wrong with you than anybody else. It's not that it's wrong. It's just that we've created it's a repetitive pattern of avoidance or trying to get around it without fully addressing it. Probably because we haven't known how to.
Yeah. So are you, in terms of a fear that you're addressing right now, or even just like a lack of confidence in some area, is it being visible? Is it not like sitting in session with a client and not having a clue what to do? Are you afraid to invest in yourself, in your education as a healer or a coach or a business, investment that, why are you afraid? Like, get clear on what it is that you're scared of right now. What we're going to do is, for you men out there, the word scared does not resonate at all, but that you feel resistance towards,
or uncomfortable, it's a discomfort. Yeah.
Many, like, not just men, but like more like
sturdy,
go-getter,
strong,
like masculine women are like, I'm never scared. ever.
Yeah, and it's
But
just the wording. It's just so for me,
yeah.
it's not so much fear, but it's yeah. Where do you feel the restriction in your body?
Mm.
Where do you shy away from in life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into that. All right. So Judy's saying our primitive mind fears change. That's our struggle. Awareness. Yes. Mandy, others are projecting their fears onto me and I let it get to me a lot. Okay. That's super common for an empathic person,
Mhm.
highly sensitive person, taking on other people's fears. That's such a good awareness. And self-sabotage, because I know that when I go fully in, I will be successful. That's a massive hidden fear for a lot of people, consciously or unconsciously. What happens when I'm really successful, right? So that's really wonderful that you're bringing that up. Oh, Liz is here. Miss Kamai, leading, holding the space with an audience, powerful clarity. Family toxicity, I am the odd duck around here. Really, really good.
Welcome to the club. I'm the odd duck in my family as well.
I am too.
Not this one, but well,
In
I'm an
our-
odd duck as well here, but that's a different story.
You're a welcome odd duck. So yeah, okay, so we'll start with this. So now we're basically moving into, this is when we suggest lighting a candle. Just take a deep breath. We're going to take about 15 minutes and we're going to dive into alchemizing a chronic emotional trigger into unshakable certainty. What most people don't realize, which is why we're sharing this, because everyone's doing all this mindset stuff, but you can say all the affirmations you want. If there is a deep fear inside that's not being addressed on an emotional level and a sensation level, like bringing presence to what's being felt, good luck. Like really.
It's kind of like we have a red wall behind us and we're just going to keep saying, you're yellow.
Green, or
You're yellow.
Yeah, you're yellow.
You're yellow.
It's
You're
definitely
yellow. It's definitely yellow. Nothing changes that
Right.
way.
So it's really about, when we use the word chronic, is there something that you keep hitting up against? I love your examples. So let's all just take a deep breath, have your sheet of paper in front of you and a pen. If you can, close the door, just have uninterrupted space for these 15 minutes. And begin to bring all of your attention, all of your love to yourself. So all of your breath, all of your focus, anywhere you've been, anywhere you're going later, just bring yourself, give yourself, receive this for 15 minutes. And if you'd like to close your eyes, just ask yourself the question, turn within and ask yourself, when am I most afraid when it comes to my coaching business, or the dream that I'm choosing to step into, or the vision I'm choosing to step into, right? That thing I really want to do. When do I feel most afraid? So you can even write in your journal the prompt, I feel fear when I imagine ... I feel fear when I imagine ... So it might be, so one of the things I get hung up on sometimes is I feel fear when I imagine speaking live on stage to an audience over 100 people, right? So just imagine, what is the thing that brings up some fear in you? I feel fear when I imagine ... Take some time here. Great examples. Charging money for my coaching. That's a big one for a lot of people. I'm currently smudging. Beautiful. Thanks for bringing that in. My current fear is getting a complaint from a client. Great. This is so clear. Really good. Making offers, fear of rejection. Risa, that is fantastic clarity. I'm scared of the fact that I'm totally dependent on my hubby financially, and I hate it. I desire my own thing. Powerful. Very powerful. Okay. So now that you have that fear written down, take a moment and notice what happens when you imagine this thing actually happening. You get a complaint from a client, or you're facing that client and you are in the enrollment conversation and you state the price of your services.
And they go, what? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, picture the worst possible thing happening. Okay? Whatever your specific thing is. And just take a moment here. We're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. Let's just sit with this for a moment. Take a breath. Notice what comes up in your body when you imagine this actually happening. And so, step number 2 is, where do you feel this fear in your body physically? Where do you feel this in your body? Where do you feel it in your body? Just notice if there's any tension anywhere, if anything's on lockdown, if there's like butterflies in the stomach, or even something pulsing or heat somewhere. It can come in many forms. Where do you feel this fear in your physical body? So all we're doing is we've named it, the fear, and now we're locating it. Where do you feel it in your physical body? Good. And now that you've located it, okay. Now take this time. This is the third step. But take a moment to actually be with whatever you're feeling. So wherever you feel the discomfort in your body, the fear in your body physically, just take a moment and actually breathe into it. And if there's any attempt to get rid of it, I want this to go away, I don't like this feeling, right? To try to get rid of the sensation associated with fear, are you open to actually doing the reverse right now? And allow the feeling that you're having in your body right now to exist. Stay with your breath. Notice it's okay if any resistance comes up to this suggestion. Just notice what's happening for you, right? We're not trying to change anything. We're not trying to get anywhere. Good. Take a deep, deep breath into your body. And whatever you're feeling physically, imagine that sensation now expanding through your entire body. So instead of trying to get rid of it, take the brakes off. Let it expand, let it grow. Let the feeling of fear and any sensations in the body associated with it to have their way, and let them expand, even if they want to expand outside of your body, as big as it wants to go. Staying with your breath. Good. And just trust whatever is coming up for you right now. And if there is any resistance where you're like, hell no, I'm not letting this expand, then are you open to being with the resistance? Feel the resistance to even feeling this, if that's coming up for you. And are you willing to let the resistance expand? Let it be really resistant. It's okay. And then I invite you again. Are you willing to let it be, let the resistance be, and allow whatever the fear is to be here too? That it actually has the right to be here. It's a very intelligent system in the body, or mechanism in the body, that's coming up to keep you safe. It actually loves you. So taking a deep breath in here, everything's working for you, everything's supporting you. Sometimes things are just a little bit outdated and just need some space and attention to really see them clearly. Take another deep breath. And exhaling it out. Now I want you to imagine that whatever sensation is present for you in your physical body, that it's actually now, imagine it being outside of you. So it's a character. So we're going to put a face to this facet. So this facet of fear, it's like we're these glorious diamonds, and we have all these different facets. We want to walk around as like perfect or whatever, but we also have these hidden ones that are like, I'm really afraid right now. So we're going to put a face to this facet. So we're going to personify it. So if this feeling of fear were a character in a movie, if you were writing a script, what color would it be? Or let's even make it a person, right? A face. So is it masculine or feminine? And trust your first instinct. So, okay, this feeling I'm feeling right now, ooh, this fear, if it were a character in a movie and I had to write a character for a film, Is it masculine or feminine? You'll know immediately, intuitively. What age is this facet of fear, this fearful character? And if your head is going, what? I've never done anything like this before. What is this? Just trust, just play with us here for a moment, right?
And whatever comes first. If you
Mhm.
can't see it, then just hear the words, open
Mhm.
to hearing the words.
Yeah, and if this is too much, just stay with the sensation, just stay with being and allowing whatever's present for you to be there. That alone is enough, okay? But we're just going to take it a little further, a little deeper. So, with this feeling, if you imagine, wow, this feeling that I'm experiencing right now, put it outside of you and give it a face, give it a visual image. So it's like this character. What color hair does it have? How is it, tall or skinny? Is it heavy set or is it short, masculine, feminine? What color eyes? Notice how this feeling is actually outside of you now. Like you can see it, right? You can feel it. So you're obviously aware that it's there. So it can't be you. It's just a facet of you. It's a part of you that you're getting to sit with right now and have tea with. If it were you, you wouldn't actually even be aware of it. That's a much deeper conversation that we won't go into right now. But just notice, if this were a character outside of me, then it isn't me. Then I actually have the ability to be with it rather than getting lost thinking I am the fear. So taking another breath here, noticing with curiosity if there's a character showing up. Let your imagination have its way. And we want you to think of this facet as if you're sitting with a client right now. You're sitting with a coaching client. So, this fearful client, let's say the client has red hair and like blue eyes and is in this deep state of fear, whatever you're seeing right now. So, imagine right now that you are literally sitting with this fearful client, this facet that we just put a face to. And your job as a coach is to just see it and listen, to see him or her and be present and listen. And if there's any agenda, oh God, I got to fix him or her, I got to change this, she shouldn't be afraid, let me make her feel better, that will never, ever result in transformation. Transformation is the result of applying love, compassion, and presence to what hurts, not thinking about strategizing how to get rid of it. That just perpetuates more chronic fear. So, transformation is the result of being with what is actually happening, even if we don't like it. So, as you're present with it, we're going to go very subtle here. We're going to take a few more minutes here. We can go way deeper with this, which is what the diamond process goes deep, deep into. Ask this facet or this fearful client, right, that you're sitting with, and it's outside of you now. You can see it, and right, it's outside of you. What is its deepest need? What is its deepest need? And you can even write in your journal if you want for later, but really, if you could sit with it now, ask as if you're asking a client, what is your deepest need right now? And if there's any part of you trying to get rid of what you're feeling right now, this is your problem. This is your biggest issue in life. I promise you this. If there's any part of you trying to resist what you're feeling right now, this is what's keeping you stuck in life. And it's not a judgment, it's a powerful awareness that can, just being aware of it, it's like, oh, I've been trying to get rid of this. Wow, okay. Just letting it be and being present with it. And this takes mastery over time, but this one realization can shift your whole world. So one more deep breath here, like you're sitting with a client, asking your client, sweetheart, what is your deepest need right now? listening intuitively. What is the fear, your fearful client's deepest need right now? This facet of you, really? And get very clear on that. It might be just being present with him or her, whatever it is. Write that down. And I want you to now, the fifth step and final step is ask yourself, how can you fulfill this need for this facet of fear? How can you fulfill this need? Yes. So Rewired for Joy saying, I just want to give her a hug. So if we were doing this work together, I would have you ask permission from this facet, right? Ask, is it okay if I give you a hug right now? And notice what everything's very clear when you come into right relationship. And if it's a yes, embrace her. Absolutely. That's the most powerful work. Silence, a hug. Good. And one more deep, deep breath in. How can I fulfill its need? And Mandy, I would ask the migraine, what is your deepest need, sweetheart? What do you need right now? If you could have anything from me this week, what would you want? Good. And one more, I keep saying one more, but let's really take one more deep breath here. Holding the breath in, exhaling it out. So it might be next time the fear comes up, the fear might ask for a hug, right? Like Kate or Rewired for Joy is asking. So that might be taking some time this week. So we're going to ask you this week, how can you fulfill the need of this part of you? So as you come into right relationship with the part of you that we don't want to feel, the fear, okay, I'm this powerful coach and I'm enrolling this client in my program and I'm inviting them to do really powerful work, but I really don't want to. I'm so afraid because what if they reject me? We don't want anyone to see this fear. The only way to break that pattern and to actually rise into absolute confidence is to embrace the part of you that is far from confident, that is extremely afraid, that is unstable, and the way to create stability is actually to welcome it in and to own the fear. So what you'll notice is beyond the thinking about what to do and how to be really confident and how to enroll the client, it's just about when you have that conversation with the client, for example, Liz, you can imagine that the fear is this little child next to you or whatever. Hug that child, be present with him or her, whatever the need that was expressed here, and then move into your enrollment conversation, right? It will stabilize you, empower you, because you're no longer the one who's afraid. You're the one who's giving a hug to the one that's afraid. So you're actually closer to yourself, your whole self, rather than the one who's lost, right? And afraid and fragmented.
Because that confident part in you is always there, is always confident. It's separating you from the facet that is anxious, that is afraid, that is fear of being judged. There's a place in you that is always eternally confident, always eternally clear. So you're connecting into that part and moving from there rather than from the one that is not.
Yeah. And so taking a deep breath here, whatever you've gotten from this, because we could only go so deep, right? This is deep work, but we want to at least open this up as a new framework for you to have as a tool to really be with yourself, because your confidence level is going to be essential as you go out and do your big work in this world. And a lot of people, which is why we're doing this right now, the majority of people have no idea that self-mastery is the foundation of masterful coaching. How can you be confident with a client going through a massive struggle if you've never actually mastered your ability to sit with yourself in uncomfortable, fearful moments and not drink something or run the other way or turn on technology and scroll or have sex or whatever it might be? Everyone has their own escape mechanism, right? If you want to do masterful work in this world, you're your number one asset. So I would love to know, like, you being with yourself, tending to yourself is the most far away thing from selfish. It's the most generous thing you can give our world. It's why our whole coach training program starts with self-mastery, right? So let me ask you this. What did you take away from this process, from this alchemy, from this alchemical process, before we move into the final thing, which is the one quality every single successful entrepreneur embodies? What did you take away from this? I love that awareness, Mandy.
Yeah.
This migraine is here because I have been overthinking too much. Very, very, very.
I love that, Liz. Interesting. My fear is actually what my child needs. That's interesting.
Yeah, I would love to hear more about that,
Yes.
actually. Christina saying, you made me cry. And now I understand that I need the homework of ask for 10 things this week. Yes, I don't have to be less in order to receive. Ooh, that, if you guys really take in what Christina just said, that awareness is powerful. I don't have to be less in order to receive. A lot of people will play victim to get and to receive. That's transformational right there, Christina. Thank you for sharing that. And please let me know how you do with asking for 10 things. Jesse, such beautiful internal families work. Thank you. You are very, very welcome. Mandy, to feel supported, I can help her feel this way by being supportive myself. Yes. My downfall, however, is that I fall in the trap of believing others and get stuck in whatever they've been telling me. I love that you're aware of that, and that's your mastery right now, is sovereignty.
Keep shining the light on it. Keep shining the light.
Yeah, and trusting your inner compass, right?
And return to you. Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, you guys, great work. And if you need to keep going with this, do whatever, take care of yourself, right? You're number one.
All right, are we ready? So, the third secret that we're revealing today is the one quality. Let me get out of the way here. The one quality successful entrepreneurs embody.
Yes.
You know what it is? Does anybody
know what it is?
You can even put the guess in there if you have a guess, or you haven't, if you have a knowing. So you ready?
I am curious what you guys think.
Yeah, I am too.
What is the one quality that every successful entrepreneur embodies?
So this is decisions. They're making decisions like this. They're able to make decisions like this. So there was a study done over 17,000 CEOs, CFOs, and COOs, so the C-suites. And what they were looking for over a 10-year study was to find out what were the qualities needed to become a successful CEO. And what they were finding is most of the CEOs weren't actually successful out there. So they were honing in on the percentage that were the upper echelon of those C-suites. And what they found is those who made decisions quickly were 12 times more likely to succeed in their ventures, in their projects.
Not 12% more likely, 12 times.
12 times. So 12 times more likely in success. And what they also found is waiting was the number one problem in successful decision making. So 94% of all of the CEOs who were not successful in their projects and in their ventures, it was not due to poor decisions. It was due to them waiting too long. The boat had already left. So what do we take from this? So this is absolute priority. So one of the CEOs that was interviewed during this was from one of the past Greyhound bus CEOs, and he was the one who actually turned around Greyhound from almost going out of business, from like being like a Sears into actually a powerful business moving forward into this era. And he said the big problem is not making a decision much more than the problem of making the wrong decision. Because what we're doing when we don't make a decision, we're stopping the momentum. We're actually, the key is momentum in the movement and the pace. So he's speaking about pace. So you imagine the little engine that could. The little engine that couldn't is going up the mountain, because whatever project you're going towards is going to be a mountain. There's things to climb. There's things to do. There's things that you're not going to want to do.
Pigs and rabbits are going to jump in the way.
Right. There's all kinds of things in the way, right? Just like in the book. And so if you stop making decisions, it's stopping the train. And then how likely are you going to get up that mountain when you don't have any momentum? So the key is knowing that the decision is possible to be changed down the road, but you're not making your key is you feel a gut instinct. This is what it is. You include all the things that you know about what you can make with this decision, and you go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the momentum, and you also have the trust that you can course correct down the road.
Yeah.
Now, decision making is so powerful, and the absolute one key inside of it that every CEO embodies is they don't waver.
And this is so, I mean, you guys, this is huge when you're scaling your business, when you're growing, when you're expanding, not wavering, no matter what.
You've
just
made a decision.
Eye on the prize, and you just go no matter what.
You go for it. And we're both in here on this one because this is so powerful. And we work with so many who say yes and then no, and they go back and forth. And this whole dance of the tango of yes, no is actually
exhausting,
crippling,
draining, depleting, disempowering, depressing. If you're feeling any of those things, look at your decision making.
This is it. So it's wherever you're making it. So make an absolute yes, make an absolute no, go for it.
Yeah.
Trust that you can course correct, and you got to keep the movement going.
Yeah. And what's so cool is we all have this ability to be strong decision makers that stick to our decisions, right? So do you know what the most important decision, though, that you will ever make is? And you have this power right now to do so. The most important decision you will ever make in your life,
I want to hear this,
is the decision to believe in yourself. Okay? The decision to believe that what's in you is here to be expressed in the world. The decision to believe that if you love something, you're here to live that thing and share it. The belief, the decision to believe that you can create anything that you're here to create, right? So there are way less qualified people than you with way less talent who are doing the exact thing you dream of doing right now, and they are thriving. Do you know why? Because they chose to believe in themselves. They had the audacity to believe in themselves, even when other people are calling them crazy friggin' pants. They made a choice because they knew that this was the only way that their life would change. To believe in yourself.
And in that study, they even speak of that of the CEOs, the successful CEOs, 7% of them were Ivy League graduates. You want to know what percentage didn't have an education, a college education?
How many?
8%. So of the successful CEOs, the ones who didn't have an education actually were a higher percentage because
was a
higher percentage.
There was only 8 Ivy League?
7% of the Ivy League were the top CEOs of success, and 8% actually didn't have a college education. So listen to that. It's not your pedigree. It's not all the things that you've been told. It's not all the things that you have on your resume. It's actually what you are offering and giving. And we're giving you the secrets right here. Literally, your decision making is one of the absolute assets, and not wavering.
It reminds me of your wrestling story. We'll share this really fast. We have a gift we're also giving you, but we'll share this quick story, and it's just it really takes it home, and it inspires me.
Yeah. So that. When I was a junior in high school, I had been wrestling already a year and a half, it was my second season, and I had gone up against this. I call him my nemesis. He was from Leavenworth, and of course that's in Kansas where Leavenworth Prison is. But it's not. It's the school. But so I had this whole story around. This guy seemed so tall, so big, so much older, so much stronger, so much better, and he'd already beaten me like 4 or 5 times. And I'm coming up against him in regionals, which is the qualifier for a state. And of course, here it is again. I'm coming up against my great nemesis, and he's beaten me every time. And I'm warming up, and I'm starting as a little engine that couldn't. So I'm warming up, and I'm like, I'm already going to lose. This is just such a waste of time. Let's just, I already know what's going to happen. He's going to throw me on the ground. He's going to get the first point, and I'm not going to get any points. It's going to be the same thing. I'm just going to fight not to get pinned, and I'm just going to do my best. And then all of a sudden I heard this voice as I'm warming up, and it's getting really close to the time to get on the mat. And I hear this voice, and it says, Jason, what if you could win? And I just, part of the momentum of the what if you could lose was still going on. So I walked a little bit more warming up. And then I heard it again, Jason, what if you could win? And then all of a sudden it became, what if I could win? And then it started going, what if I could win? Actually, I'm going on the mat to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to do every bloody thing I can to win. And then I went out there. And my coach didn't know I had gone through this. He was still in knowing how this guy owned me every time. And so he went, go ahead, do the best you can, Jason. I went out there, and the first whistle, and he came at me, and I threw him off me. My coach claps really loud, and he goes, here we go, because he saw I showed up with all of me. All of a sudden, just that one time, that one voice shifted me from believing that I'm not good enough, that I'll never get it, into what if I could do this? What if I'm good enough? And then the beauty of that.
Well, yeah. Oh,
the beauty of that is I did win that match because I fully showed up.
Ooh, I mean, that is basically what I'm hearing you say is that you were one person who didn't believe in yourself. And we always see this. Yeah. There are two types of people, right? We've talked about like you guys have heard us talk about the walkers and the talkers, but really it's like they're also the ones who believe in themselves and the ones who don't, right? The ones who believe it's possible. And that question is a bridge. What if I can? If you're in this camp, I can't. What if I can? They're like, what if I can win? What if I can thrive as a coach? What if I can make it? What if I can be this huge impact in people's lives and thrive in the process? What if that is possible for me? Like that's the bridge into the belief, into the believers, right?
Yes.
So I love this because for those of you watching, many of you, we know you are walkers. You are here. You're done with the old way. You're done not thinking about, talking about what you want to do and not taking action. So we know that we have not, in the past, we've given this gift and it fills up instantly. So we've opened up a few extra spots for any of you who want to have a confidence breakthrough session with one of us. If you are somebody who just needs more confidence and is ready to break through and ready to do the work that you're here to do in the world, live your purpose, please make sure you're new, that you've never sat with us, because we want to give as many opportunities as possible to those of you who are tuning in. I'm going to put in a link right now. We've opened up 15. We're going a little wild over the next 3 days.
Yeah,
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Friday,
Monday, and Tuesday. And I just put the link in. So basically the link is there. It says get your confidence breakthrough session gift. There are 15 of them. So obviously these are going to get filled up, but we wanted to put in extra ones in there for any of you who are like, you know what, I know I can do this. I just need support in breaking through.
If you can move from being the talker of your life, wanting, hoping to succeed in something, get there, and haven't been doing the things, literally this moment can be your shifting moment. You can move from the talking in the head into actually walking and living it right here, right now, and we're here to support you.
Yeah, just click the link below where it says Confidence Breakthrough Session Gift. You'll take you straight to a scheduling link and choose your time, and you'll get on the phone for 30 minutes with one of us. And we're going to support you in breaking through. Some of you will share with you about our coach training program or self-mastery if it's relevant to you. But most of the time we're just giving you support on the call. And if there's a resource we can give you or guide you towards, we absolutely will. We are 100% committed to you bringing the gift that is in your heart, keyword, into this world, because we know that together, when we are doing this work together and we're bringing what we're really here to do in this world out confidently, not like a false confidence, but like stable in your own skin, comfortable in your own skin, so that the focus isn't all about you anymore. It's about the person you're serving, right? Then we know that, we're fulfilling our mission. That's our purpose, right? And if you're attracted to what we're doing, we know that you have something incredible to share with our world. So get the support you're seeking, click the link below. And when they're sold out or filled up, they're free, by the way. This is our gift to you. we will let you know in a future masterclass when we open something like this up again. We obviously can't do this all the time. This is just a give to love you guys up and make sure that you're supported, because we want to be your Shirley, right? Like Shirley changed the trajectory of my life that day. And we can't do it alone. Like that took me boink, like years. Like I had to get hit over the head for years to realize, oh my God, I finally hired a coach last year. So wherever you can ask for support, get the support you need. You're worth it, right? Try on that hat of really, wow, what if I do? What if I can do this?
Yeah. Yeah. And do it now. So sign up if you're called to make the shift and change in your life. It's now. You already know it in your heart. You already heard the yes.
Yeah, right in the comments, actually, right now, I believe in myself. If you are in that camp of the person who I believe in myself, if you're choosing that now in your life, just write it, declare it in the comments so we can just cheer you on.
I choose to be the walk of the talk. Yeah.
Yes. So just to review here, you guys, and we will look at comments for a few minutes, is the number one, is it? Oh no, yeah. Okay, so the confidence coaching secrets revealed. The 5 coaching success blocks are Little Miss Perfect syndrome, which is the bottleneck syndrome. Some of us have been through that and are breaking free of that.
The later is better lie.
Now is the only time that exists.
It is now.
If you haven't noticed. Everyone else but me. No more of that, because you
get out.
Let's make sure that doesn't hit the candle. Or let it. Okay.
And the little engine that couldn't. It's time to believe in yourself and move forward. This is your deciding moment.
Yes, and fear will keep me safe. Say what? No, actually moving forward, breaking through, building those resilience muscles, becoming the alchemizer of your own emotional state, so you are in a state of self-mastery, so you can be a masterful coach, not a mediocre coach, a masterful coach, because you've done it inside of yourself, and you bring your state to your clients, which is your biggest offering to your clients, right?
And finally, the CEO Genome Project. So this is all about making decisions, ready to make them, go forward with it. Do not waver, go forward.
Yeah, and remember that you can always course correct later. And the most important decision you will ever make is the decision to believe in yourself. So if you are ready, if you actually even need support believing in yourself to move forward, grab one of the 15 spots if there are some available. And we just love you guys with all of our hearts. We thank you so, so much for doing this, for diving in. Yes, decisions create momentum. A successful mentor said to me, successful people take action. Yes, and the universe likes speed. It is so true.
That's where you meet grace. Grace is met by the willpower, by the action. Grace is always here.
And Jesse, when I say presence, what I mean by that is being with another human being or being in the moment without analyzing, without thinking, without sizing up good, bad, right, wrong. We're just in that innocent state of mind together with, like, a hug is a perfect representation of presence. There's no thought, there's no attempt to change or fix. It's just love, really. Yes, committing to your purpose and believe. Here we go. Tears in my eyes. Risa, you are a powerful coach. You are a certified diamond process coach. And we know, like, and so many of you are here, which is so touching to us. Liz, Mandy, Shpela, Amy Kuchin, like, you guys are incredible. And yeah, we'll be talking with you guys in a few, but we're so celebrating each of you, whatever that next leap is for you.
It's time.
It's time. So remember, take a deep breath. Self-care is essential. And I honestly really believe in myself. That makes me so happy to hear.
Yes.
I freaking believe in myself. I choose to show up fully in all that I do. Yes, I believe in myself. I choose to believe in myself. What if I can? I think I can. Sharon. I think I can. Sharon.
Great, Vivian.
Risa, Vivian, even better. I am believing in myself moment to moment. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. Great to be with everyone. You most definitely can, Risa. The spirit was so strong during this master class. Thank you, and may God bless you both. Thank you. Same to you, Judy. Beautiful, you guys. Wow. Love you guys so
Sacred
much.
Raven. Jamie. Thanks, Jamie.
Where's Jamie?
Sacred Raven TV. I don't know. It's
Oh,
Jamie.
is that Jamie? Jamie? Like Jamie?
Well,
Diamond
you
Process?
are Jamie, but Jamie, there's also Jamie.
Like Diamond Process Coach Jamie? If so, I miss you. Sending you so much love. Like, I love knowing that you are here.
Denitza, sending love too.
Oh, Denitza's in the house. Another Diamond Process Coach. You guys, we love you.
We're sending you all so much love.
Can someone post the link? I don't see it.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's see if we can repost it.
Yes. Here, I'll do. So I'm going to post it at the top. Let me just do this. Okay. Oh, if I do. There we go. All right. Well, it's in there, but it's kind of embedded in, it's like the third paragraph. Yeah, you have to be so subtle with that. Okay, there we go. So I just put it at the top for ease. There you go. All right, you guys. Oh, Susan's in the house. My current mantra, stop thinking, start doing.
All
yes. Right. Oh, God, I love you guys. I am an intuitive business consultant, spiritual wellness coach, and believe that I will do this. And so it is.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for being here with us. And we will see you in the next video.
Yes.
Yes. And we'll see some of you tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday in our confidence breakthrough sessions. Click the link below if you haven't grabbed one of those spaces yet. And we cannot wait to support you.
We are here for you. Many blessings.